Alright, good morning, folks. Slept a little later this morning. I was up a little later last night, though. It is. If you can see that right there. Man, I tell you, it's hard to get woke up this morning. It is day 99. Like I say, I was up a little late. Just now getting up. It's 8 in the morning.
Hello. Please step on the scale.
8 something in the morning anyway. Ready for today's weigh-in. Ooh, it looks pretty good, y'all.
Your weight is 281.4 pounds.
So, we finally moved off of that 282. We're at 281 today. It is the last day before 100 days. So, yeah, we would have to lose, what, 3 pounds today to hit 270. Wait a minute. 70, 79. Yeah, we have to lose 3 pounds today in order to hit 50 pounds of weight loss before the first 100 days. So, we probably not gonna make it, but who knows? I mean, stranger things have happened, right? Alright, let me get woke up and we'll talk more about it later. Alright, folks, so we are sitting here at the end of the day. So, we actually had a 1.2 pound drop over yesterday, which is fantastic. So that brings our total up to close to 6 pounds. Very close to 6 pounds, I would say, for the week, but definitely 5.2 at least. So will I get there by tomorrow on day 100? Probably not. But the good news is I can use tomorrow to try to shave off maybe a little more. So I can say that I shaved it all off within 100 days when I wake up on day 101. So that is something I didn't think about before. So that is something we are definitely going to be focused on today. Today and tomorrow. Hopefully I wake up in tomorrow and we see some more weight loss. That would be awesome, or at least maintaining that 281. But my body is adjusting to this recent drop in weight that I've had over the week, which is incredible. The 4 point something pounds that I dropped is incredible all by itself. And they say an average healthy weight loss is anywhere from 1 to 3 pounds a week. So we have blowed the average out of the water by 2 pounds. Yes, that is amazing, considering the torture I put myself and Mr. Jesse through. If y'all haven't seen Keeping It Real with Big Country's video, where he tries one of those hot pickles for himself, you have got to see it. I will leave a link down in the description. All I can say is be prepared to laugh a lot. Uh, I did. But anyway, yeah, moving on from that, I saw Shell's video today, which I have yet to comment on. I'm behind on comments and some video watching. I've been catching up though. By the end of the weekend, I will be caught up with everyone's videos. I've been binge watching people's videos last night, and I will do so into the night once I get this video completed. There's been some real interesting things going on within folks' videos, that is for sure. And I really enjoy that, especially on the weekends, because when I get ready to, finish up my videos, I can kick back and relax while mine's in the download process, which takes hours for some reason on the weekend. I guess everybody pushing the YouTube limits at one time causes a massive influx in traffic to try to process and digest, and puts a strain on the algorithm. So yeah, all of that. Yesterday there was a video that came out I want to discuss. Oh, this was amazing, because this kind of goes along with some of the stuff that I've said. I've called out people on, there was a guy, he calls himself, and some of you vegan people may be familiar with him, Plant Chompers. But anyway, he put out a video explaining how some doctors and popular social media influencers, and the topic was about are seed oils toxic, and what about olive oil? So I'll leave a link for that video in the description. It's very interesting how he talks about influencers of certain diets through social media influencers, top names. I mean, he mentions them all from Joe Rogan to Dr. Jason Fong and a whole array of others, where they put out this information based on studies that they cherry pick to support their narrative. Wonder who said stuff like that. My little insignificant tail, that's who. But this guy's got a little more clout than me. He's got about 24K followers. Not quite the level of some of the people mentioned on there, but enough to get over 11,000 views in the past 24 hours and growing. But yeah, he explains how they cherry pick their data based on narratives they want to try to support, and how actual scientists get very little attention and they know more about it than anyone. So he compares the data amongst these top influencers against actual scientists, who have got material out there. And he explains things, that go way further back than what, your average popular influencers may be telling you. Like the carnivore diet, for instance. I did not know this, but it goes all the way back to 1907. And President Theodore Roosevelt was into it. And, they're trying to say it, as a new thing within the past, how many ever decades, but they're not saying it goes back as far as it does. And some of the seed oils and stuff, like sesame oil and different seed oils that are promoted as unhealthy now, actually go all the way back to times before Christ. So, and he breaks down how they have discovered these things, these anomalies and stuff in decayed mummies and everything else. It is so fascinating and interesting to watch him break it off. You just have to watch it for yourself. It tickled me to death because now if someone comes to attack me, I have something to link back at them. And I'm sure, because he's like, what have y'all gotten me into? This was something his audience asked him to address and to look into. And he went down the rabbit hole, people. I'm telling you what. And I'm sure that it's going to create waves within communities. I like everything he had to say. Because you know me, there was nothing, in the whole study about IF, at least not yet he hasn't. There may come a day where he'll do that. I don't know. But we definitely know that fasting in general goes all the way back to biblical times. And it's funny that should come out the same day that a certain doctor I've talked about recently, puts out his most recent video, and in that video, funny enough, addressed the fact that people in the 1940s, 50s, and 60s didn't snack in between meals. It's almost as if someone called him out on it, and he knows about it. Treading on dangerous waters, I know, but they don't bury the scared. They bury the dead. But yeah, it's there's actually some evidence out there to back some of my claims, for sure, that people are starting to just now address. Oh my God, here comes the chaos, which, as he explains, some of the older written documents, on certain diets and things that, were quote unquote a lot older than what they're telling you now. There was even controversy about them back then. So, funny thing about 1907 study on the carnivore diet is that predates even the Atkins revolution, of the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and into the early 2000s, because Atkins has been a thing for a long time, which as soon as he, wasn't even rolling over in his grave, other people were trying to break apart his diet and create something new out of it and call it keto. You look up some of Dr. Atkins' very few videos that are on YouTube of him speaking, but you can hear him talking of the ketogenic diet and calling it that in reference out of his own mouth. So it's there. It happened. Sorry. But it's just crazy, because some of these social media influencers, they have over, a couple of million followers, and they're putting out information for you to go along with them that they cherry pick, that supports their narrative. Come on now. There's always somebody out there that is smarter than you, more brilliant than you, and that lived probably a long time ago, or even that has came along right now that you're not aware of, that's going to just blow your narrative to smithereens. Who knows what to do anymore? This is the reason I got frustrated and left the keto community myself, is because when I learned of intermittent fasting, I knew that was something that we did, and it didn't have a name for it. And I'm not the only one that says that. There's other people saying that too. Ask anyone above a millennial generation, and I'm talking about. When I'm talking about above, when you're talking about Gen Xers are kind of split into two categories, because they got that whole Zennial thing they got going on now. Some Gen Xers didn't live or weren't born. They lived, but they weren't born early enough into the generation to really experience the hardship of the 70s. Like if someone was born in 79, their experiences were pretty much the same as what, the early millennials and zennials or whatever in the heck you want to call it. There's a reason they're trying to divide up, half of the millennial generation, half of Gen X into a micro generation and call it zennials, because there was a narrative push that they could easily get away with by manipulating people through standard media, because during that time of the so-called zennial generation, that's spelled with an X, it's kind of meant to be Gen Xers from 77 until I think 1985 or somewhere around there, is supposedly this micro generation. Culture changed big time in the 90s. There was a big shift in culture in the 90s that has pretty much, collapsed into what everything is today, but that is unfolding before our very eyes, and people are catching wise to it, and things are about to change. The paradigm always shifts, it always changes, the truth always comes out. You can't put the genie back in the bottle at this time. At this point, folks, there's going to be a lot more brilliant and more intelligent people than me coming out saying things along the lines of what I'm telling you now. Just keep an eye out for it, and think of me when you discover it for yourself, because it is here, and hold on, DC, because it's too late to go home now. But yeah, I mean, if you want to influence a culture, in your type of political view, and like we're learning so much about how politics and Hollywood and the music industry all kind of go hand in hand now. We didn't know that. Even I don't think even the singers knew that. Well, probably a lot of them did. Probably a lot of them, were blackballed into saying nothing, because if they spoke too much about it, they would probably get blackballed in a way that any money or financing that they had, would be in trouble or jeopardy over them trying to, promote truth. But, you see little slithers of it from them coming out. Now that the genie has been let out of the bottle. And I'm just hitting here with the popcorn. I'm just sitting here with the popcorn waiting for it all to unfold, because it is happening, and all I can say is it's about time. For too long, people have had to be silent about the truth, but no longer. Truth is coming to light, and the truth will set us all free. And finally, we will be able to move forward instead of moving backwards in order to move forward in someone else's push or direction. We can move forward for ourselves and be free thinkers like we used to be. Well, I have run my mouth long enough today. Oh yeah. The food I ate. I almost forgot. I can't leave without explaining the food I ate. I went to a little barbecue stand today. I decided not to get a salad or a Subway. I decided to, especially since watching all this new influence that has gathered my attention, I figure, I'm going to continue my path of the standard American diet a little better than what I have been, because I was about ready to cut down into salads and stuff to try to further my weight loss, but I figure the results I'm standing at now are good enough and speak for themselves, and they will continue to climb in a downward direction. So I went today and I got me a pulled pork sandwich. So we're getting us some barbecue. We're getting this Southern Smoked barbecue from this truck here in the upstate of South Carolina, and that's going to be my food for today. With a little side of baked beans and a little side of potato salad, and I made an omelette out of that. And that is all I have ate today, and that is all I will eat today, because my window is closed as of this conversation. It is 6:31 p.m. But I really enjoyed that little barbecue. Alright, that's all I have, folks. Until tomorrow, y'all have a good one.